Okay, in the previous class, till that previous class, we studied about Smith chart. Okay, how to use a Smith chart to find the different parameters of the transmission lines. See, once we use transmission lines find many applications, and also as we saw transmission lines because of at RF and microwave frequency, a small interconnect, even a very small interconnect, which is used to connect one circuit to another circuit or one component to another component, introduces a lot of problems that we studied in the previous class. Okay, so there are and also we have many applications using a Smith chart also. We studied many applications. We can implement a inductor, capacitor. We can implement that impedance matching devices. We can implement. Okay, so like stubs main what we were studied. They are used for implementing inductor and capacitor. So those stubs can also be used to implement filter, phase shifters, couplers. Okay, so like that we will be studying in the fifth unit. That few more applications. Okay, present till now what we studied impedance matching and implementing inductor and capacitor that we studied in the previous to in the yesterday class. Okay, and the remaining applications we will be studying in the fifth unit: filters, resonators, those things, and those we were studying in the fifth unit, filters and resonators. But in the seventh semester there is a course microwave engineering and antennas. In that again we will be studying about these applications of again microwave applications of transmission lines, like a power divider, coupler, how to design a coupler, power divider. Those things we will be studying in the seventh semester also. Okay, so like a lot of applications are there. Once we go for high frequency operation, we cannot use at all our lumped elements like a capacitor, inductor, whatever. Okay, all transmission lines only used to implement many of our devices and circuits. Okay, components. That's why it's very important to understand RF design, trans receiver, because everything is shifting now to the very high frequency range. So in those frequencies, these lumped or discrete element doesn't work at all. So many of these problems can be solved by using transmission lines. Okay, now we have given basic and also some in-depth analysis of transmission lines and what are the transmission lines, how what all those things we studied in the previous topics. Okay, and also one more that is a impedance matching is also very important in case of RF and microwave circuits design. So that also we studied impedance, what is meant by impedance design. We studied a simple impedance matching network like a L matching, okay, and a stub matching and a quarter wave transformer matching. Okay, and also there are using the same idea but little bit expanding. You can get a impedance matching for any of our circuits. Okay, microwave or communication system circuits. Okay, so that we studied in the earlier. So in most of our to solve such problems or to implement applications, we are using a Smith chart. We use a Smith chart in many of our transmission line problems. To solve the transmission line problem or to find the parameters of the transmission lines, we use a Smith chart. Okay, that is mainly ZY chart we were using. Okay, but a simple Z chart doesn't give a solution for us. It will take again complication if you use only Z chart. That's why we were using a ZY chart. Using ZY charts, many things will be simplified. Okay, that how to use that ZY chart. Okay, that we studied for L matching network and for stub design. How to use that we studied in the previous classes. Okay, so next that is up to third unit. We were using part of the second unit. Smith chart and applications. Smith chart and applications, that is in the second unit. In the third unit, L matching, stub design, that is impedance matching using stubs, and quarter wave transformer, that is there. Okay. That you must use the Smith chart, so solve the problems. Okay. Next, that is L matching, and also in the L matching, lumped elements we studied till now in the yesterday class. We were designing a capacitor and an inductor. Okay, L and see, instead of using that L and C lumped elements, what we do, we are replacing those by using stubs. That all. Okay, B value we are finding and X value we are finding on the Smith chart. See, some shunt element will be added, some series element will be added in the L matching network. Okay, so in that shunt element and the series element, usually what we do, from the Smith chart we are finding the B and X, normalized X value and normalized B value we are finding associated with the capacitor and the inductor. It may be a shunt or a series element. We used to find the X value and B value from the Smith chart. From that X and B, we are getting the values of components C and L. Okay, but instead of using a lumped element C and L, that X and B directly can be used to implement stubs. Okay, instead of connecting a capacitor in a parallel, see, like any components, capacitor or inductor can be implemented using stubs, that we already studied how to design a stub. Okay, the stub, capacitor and inductor, what we studied in L matching, can be replaced by using stubs. Okay, that is there, distributed elements. Okay, so instead of going there, okay, we can see that here I will show you that top, that one. Hello, audible? Hello, hello, audible? Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah,
I'm
okay.
audible.
Okay. I will show you one. This is in the L matching network. I left that. Hello. Uh, can you see this PPT? Hello. Hello. Which one?
Yes, ma'am.
Which one? Sorry. Okay. I will display because there are three or there. I think. Which one you are seeing? Can you see this L matching network? Hello. Can you see the L matching network, or which one is displayed on your huh? Is there L matching network? Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
L match. Can you see the L matching network now? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I can see.
Okay, fine. Thank you. You see here in the L matching network, load is there here. This is the load here, load point. We saw in the previous class, there are many solutions we can have after a single load. Okay, L matching. See, all these four solutions we can have. We can have to get a impedance match. Okay, see, like this. Start from the load point. Load point. you can move like this, okay, and you can come to the center of the Smith chart. See, first you can move over a conductance circle, and then you reach and then move over the resistance circle. That is a one solution. See, like this blue color one here. See, what is this? We are moving over a conductance circle that adds the capacitor in shunt, and moving again it adds the series here. This one, this solution. This is a solution. Okay, this color, you see, this color is there. That is the component color here. Okay, so shunt capacitor, and from here we are switching to the resistance circle. We are moving over the resistance circle. So it adds a capacitor in series like this. Okay, capacitor shunt, capacitor series. So that is a one solution. Okay, another solution you can see here, yellow color one. You see, yellow color, this one. So from here we can move over a resistance circle like this. Move over resistance circle, and after reaching G is equal to one circle. This is G is equal to one circle. This is the G is equal to one circle. What we can do, we can move to the center of the Smith chart on a conductance circle. Here we moved on resistance circle, but after reaching this point, that is G is equal to one circle, we moved on the conductance circle. See, like this, switched the type of the circle here, resistance circle here, it is switched to conductance circle like this. This is another solution. See, like this we can do. This is a yellow color. First is a moving on resistance circle, that is capacitor in series. Moving on conductance circle, adds the capacitor in shunt. This is another solution. That also gives the impedance matching. One more solution you see here, instead of stopping here, what we can do, we can move further like this over the conductance, and we can stop here, and then you move to center of the Smith chart. That also gives a one more solution. Okay, see, like this, moving over like this until other side of the conductance circle. See, this is G is equal to one circle. We can reach here also. Need not to stop here. Go on moving from here to here and stop here over the resistance circle. After reaching here, you move on conductance circle. See, this is conductance circle now. Okay, switch the circle, like this. It gives another solution. This is capacitor in series, this is inductor in shunt. That is a third one here. Color you see, this is a color. This color component color here. Okay, like four solutions are there. Here also, see, from here, instead of stopping here, you go up to here. Resistance circle, R is equal to one circle here. Again, because as you move like this, it intersect once here. But need not to stop here, you can further you go. Again it intersect other side like this. We can stop here. This gives another solution. This color, gray color. Okay. So violet color. This is another solution. See, like this, we can have four solutions for this impedance matching. One load. This is some load is there. 0.4 and plus 1. That is a load here. There are four solutions for this. Okay. So like this, any one you can do. Or based on two solutions, if they ask, you can do the two solutions. Okay. See, now here what we did here, movement we give a we will be getting the reactance value of this and the susceptance value of this, B value and X value. Okay, and we found component values. What is the component value in the previous class? What is the component value? But instead of implementing lumped element like this, what we can do, we can replace these by stubs. See, like this stub. See here, third one here. This is this one for this solution. Okay, this is implemented using stub series reactance. X is equal to what? Minus 1.48. Okay, actually normalized, whatever the value comes here, you should take normalized reactance value. Normalized reactance we can read from here. Okay, you take that normalized reactance and implement that using stub. See, like this. Okay, normalized reactance implemented like this series stub. Already told how to implement a given reactance using stub. You can implement a reactance using stub. Okay, any value, open circuit stub you can implement, or short stub you can implement. So X value, you will be getting a X value from here, normalized reactance. For that you find out a stub. Only you have to find out the length of the stub, that's all. What is the length of the stub to provide that particular value of reactance. Okay. Similarly, here, see, for this solution they have done. This is a one solution. Okay. moving from here to here, then to here, give a one solution, impedance match solution. That is like this, capacitor and inductor here. This capacitor is replaced by stub like this, because we know the reactance, normalized reactance of this from here itself. From the Smith chart itself, you know normalized if you know the normalized reactance, we can find out the length of the stub. What is the length of the stub to provide that particular value of x. Okay, that's this stub. Similarly, this inductor, it is moving from here to here, that is from here to here. B value will be finding B value. Okay, for to get that particular value of B, what is the length of this stub? That's all. That inductor will be implemented, this inductor implemented like this. Okay, only you should find out what is this length to get that particular value of B, normalized B. That we can do easily from the Smith chart. You already did that for a short circuit and a open circuit. Okay, so here what they done, this one capacitor and inductors are replaced by stub like this. Okay, similarly here one more solution, this is another solution. See, like this, moving like this and coming like this. This is a shunt capacitor, series capacitor. This shunt capacitor, series capacitor. This shunt capacitor replaced by like this open stub, and the series capacitor replaced by like this open stub again. Series only you have to connect to this like this. Series stub design. This is a shunt stub design. Shunt stub design, you should take the B value. Series stub design, you should take the X. Go through the stub design. Okay, I already told that how to do that. So like this, instead of using inductor and capacitor, what we do, we are designing that inductor and capacitor using stubs. Okay, only we have to find out length of these stubs. Okay, so and also your normalized reactance need not to calculate, because we are already doing that from here. From the Smith chart, we are automatically getting X and normalized X value, normalized B value. See, remember, just to implement the inductor and capacitor, what we are doing, we are finding the normalized reactance and normalized susceptance. In these problems, L matching need not to find those, because they are available from the Smith chart itself. Normalized reactance, what is the X, by moving like this, we will be getting that from the Smith chart itself. And also normalized B value we are getting from the Smith chart, B value. So just you take those normalized reactance and normalized susceptance and implement those using Smith chart. Okay, so like that we replace these inductors and capacitor by stubs like this. Okay, that is also there in your third unit. Okay. Okay, for the test, I am not giving this. Only you put like this, inductor and capacitor combination, you do, it is enough. Okay, need not to go for this implementation. This we will see in the next time. Okay, for the test, first test, only you put a lumped element. Okay, so this is about that impedance matching and using stubs to implement the inductor and capacitors. Hello. Okay, audible? Am I audible? Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. See, now we will go now. I think it's enough for L matching and Smith chart. Okay, if you want any more, you please go through the videos. Okay, this is enough. Now we will go to that fourth unit. That is. Okay, is now visible? Hello, network parameters. Can you see the PPT on network parameters? Hello? Is the PPT is on network parameters visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we will see that fourth unit. Okay, in the fourth unit, actually there is a microstrip line and strip lines are there. Okay, they are a theory part. Okay, just there is a structure used to be there and design equations are there. Ready equations are there. Okay, and structure is there, and I think I have already given that as an assignment to you. And that PPT I will send you. There is nothing to explain and all. I think it's a study material. You can go through that. Okay, it is enough for the exam point of view also. Okay, just read and summarize, memorize that. It is enough for the exam point of view. Okay, so that's why I am not doing that in the class. Okay, that is a construction and design equations of that microstrip line and the strip line. Okay, but the problems we will do in the class. Problems will be there, but in the test I am not including the problems. Only theory part will be there for the test. Construction and design equations of microstrip line and the strip lines will be there. Okay, for the test. Okay, and next topic in that is the network parameters. Okay, network parameters is there. See here, if you take any electrical network, okay, network means like this. This is a two. We are representing the network by a box. See like this. This is a box. Okay, see like this. In the most of our RF and microwave frequency range, we represent the circuits by a box like this, black box. Okay, some box is there, and what we can see here, only terminals. See here, two terminals left out here and here. Okay, output and input, or you based on your requirement, maybe it may be bidirectional. Input and output may be changed. Okay, so it is a network, any network, it may be any circuit represented by like this. Okay, not only like this, no, okay, this is a one. It inside this there may be anything, this box, inside this box it may be an amplifier or a mixer circuit, or it may be a attenuator, phase shifter, whatever it may be here, but that is represented by like this box. Okay, see like this, you can see here, this is the amplifier consists of BJT and also JFET. Okay, see like this is the one, but this entire whatever it is inside represented by like this. What is this here? They are called as ports. Port 1 and port 2. Okay, what is meant by port here? Whatever it may be inside here. Okay, two wires will be there, pair of wires. You know, in our laboratories we are doing amplifier design or circuit. At the input, there are a positive and a ground. Input connection, how do you do the connection? Source is connected to positive and another terminal should be connected to ground, like two wires used to be there. Similarly, here is a two wires here. That two wire pair of two wires called as a port, one port at the input side. For example, amplifier. I think most of you studied RC coupled amplifier. RC coupled amplifier. In the RC coupled amplifier, there is a input. Input is there. Okay, two wires used to be there. Now what we do? Source positive is connected to one terminal and negative connected to ground. That way we do the connection. That pair of terminals is called as a port. So one port, it consists of pair of wires. Similarly at the output is again a pair of wires, that is called as port here. Okay, port 1 and port 2 in amplifier. Okay, so here you can see, so whatever it may be, we are representing like by port 1 and port 2. Okay, so and we know in the network analysis, so this network, whatever it may be the network here, okay, that can be analyzed by using some parameters. You already studied that in the network analysis. Okay, network analysis course, you are already studied that. That is Z parameters, Y parameters, and ABCD parameters. In the network analysis, you might have studied all those things. Okay, what are those? Z parameters, Y parameters, and ABCD parameters. They are used to analyze the networks. Analyze the network. Okay, study the properties of the network. We can use this. But to measure these Z parameters, Y parameters, and ABCD parameters, actually they are at low frequency. We can use these Z parameters, Y parameters, and ABCD at a low frequency, but we cannot use this at a RF and microwave frequency. Okay, this ZY ABCD, they are at the low frequency, but we cannot use this at a RF and microwave frequency range. Okay, and also you can see here wave transmission, the waves are not considered. Total voltage and total current are measured here. In this case, low frequency, total voltage and total current is measured at the input and the output. Okay, at a low frequency. Okay, but that is okay. And also we can see here at a low frequency we are using Z parameters and Y parameters. For the measurement of these, actually what we needed is, while measuring the parameter this side, other port must be short circuited. That is the requirement. See, I2 is equal to 0. What is I2? Or open circuited. While measuring the input parameter, see like this, Z11. What is Z11? We are measuring the input impedance here. Okay. At that time, what we have to do? Output should be open circuited here. So I2 should be 0. Condition here. I2 equal to 0. That is the required condition here. Okay, while measuring Z11. Similarly, if you want to measure Z22, this should be open circuited. That is a condition required. Similarly, Z12, this must be open circuited. Z21, this must be open circuited. That is a requirement. While measuring these parameters, open circuit is needed at one of the port. Okay. Similarly, Y parameters. If you consider Y parameter, while measuring the Y parameter, we can see Y11. What is the requirement here? V2 equal to 0. V2 equal to 0. V2 equal to 0 means what? This should be short circuited. Voltage is 0. Voltage V2 means what? It is a voltage across these two terminals. It should be 0. Short circuited. Okay. So while measuring Y11, this must be short circuited. Similarly, while measuring Y22, this must be short circuited. Okay, like this also. So Y parameter measurements needs a short circuit at one of the port, and Z parameter measurement needs open circuited at the ports, other ports, while measuring the Z parameter. Similarly, ABCD also. Okay, so that is needed. That is a main. Okay, you have to keep it in mind. While that's why we cannot use this method for a RF and microwave frequency range. Okay, why we cannot use Z parameter and Y parameter? Because they need a Z parameter needs a open circuit at one port. Okay, while measuring the parameters, and Y parameters needs short circuit at one of the port. Okay, while measuring the Y parameters. Similarly, ABCD also. Okay, and that is the main disadvantage at RF and microwave frequency. Okay, because you see here Y parameter measurement, we should put a chart here. Okay, we have to make a chart while measuring Y11. But if you try to put a chart at RF and microwave frequency, what happens? Chart means what? Short circuit. We cannot use this Y parameter. Why we cannot use? See, for this measurement we need to put a chart here. from ear to ear. We have to connect. Sharp means what? We have to insert a wire from ear to ear. If you put a small piece of wire, it doesn't behave simply like a shaft at RF and microwave frequency. It behaves like a inductor and a capacitor, inductor resistance combination. Whatever you connect a small piece of wire behaves like a combination of inductor and resistance. It doesn't become simply is like a exactly short. It doesn't become exactly short. There is a capacitor and inductor combination between these two terminal. Automatically whatever the parameter you measure, that is not correct, because there is not fully short here. But low frequency, we do not consider that inductor and capacitor, inductor and resistance effect, stray capacitor, stray inductor, and skin effect. Those we do not consider at a low frequency. That's why we can put a chart here and measure this Y parameter. But once we go for RF frequency, if you use the same, if you try to measure Y parameter by putting chart here, instead of applying below 1 megahertz, apply 10 or 1 gigahertz here. Measure the Y parameter. It is not correct, because there is no chart here actually. If you put a piece of wire, that doesn't behave like a simple chart. Okay, that's why it is difficult to find out the exact chart at a RF and microwave frequency. That's why we cannot use this method. Similarly, open circuit also we cannot use at RF and microwave, because if you keep these two open, there is a stray capacitor again. There is a stray capacitor between this and this, and also some other conductance may also come. Because of that, whatever you measure here, it may not be exact whatever impedance here. Okay, at RF and microwave frequency, that is a problem. So, if we cannot measure Z properly, we cannot measure Y parameters properly at a RF and microwave frequency range because of these problems. And also one more problem, what happens, you see here, if you try to measure this, we have to put a chart. Okay, exact chart doesn't available. Okay, even you try to measure at RF and microwave frequency by connecting a chart here, short circuit means what? Reflection, maximum reflection will be there. ZL equal to 0, we know. Reflection coefficient is 1. Entire wave get reflected back like this. It will reflect back like this. That is the main problem. Reflection takes place. We put a chart here. What happens? Reflection will there. Okay, wave will travel in the opposite direction. Okay, and if there is a multiple reflections, then what happens? There may be a very high spike type of voltage may generate here. That may damage that active device present in this one. The reflection, if the reflection goes back like this, if the reflection is very high, it may damage this. That may takes place at RF and microwave frequency. Okay, that is a problem. Again, reflection problem will there. Open or a short, if you put, there is a maximum reflection that may damage our network components present here. Okay, that is a problem, and the exact chart is not available. Okay, at RF and microwave frequency, that is a one more problem. And in low frequency, total voltage measurement will be there. Voltmeter and ammeter. We use the voltmeter and ammeters at a low frequency. Actually, that voltmeter gives addition of voltage. Total voltage it will measure. Total voltage, voltmeter or ammeter, whatever we use at a RF and microwave frequency, they provide only the total voltage, addition of all voltages, whatever it may be, reflection or incident, whatever. Maybe incident is coming like this, reflected wave may be like this. But if you connect a voltmeter to measure the one voltage, it gives the addition of the two. Okay, but and also the phase of the wave may vary over this line. We cannot get an exact voltage measurement at RF and microwave frequency. Okay, because you see here, wave, we can see the wave over the line like this. See, this is a lead. It may be in the order of very mm or a centimeter. uh, but we can see two cycles or three cycle waves over the line, see like this. But at low frequency we cannot see the wave over the line. At low frequency we cannot see the wave over the line. Approximately the voltage looks like a constant, okay, but we can see the waves like this on the line at a high frequency, very high frequency. That is a problem again, to measure the total voltage and current. But at low frequency we can do that, okay. So these are the problems. Because of these problems we cannot use them at a RF and microwave frequency. Short circuit problem, open circuit problem, reflection will takes place, and the total voltage and current we cannot measure, because there is a wave is traveling over these leads. Phase variation is there over the leads like this. Signal varies, voltage and current varies over the line. Here voltage and current they do not remain. See, voltage is maximum and it decreases, reaches minimum like this. This pattern will takes place over the line here. But low frequency it may look like a constant. Okay, so because of that we cannot do the exact voltage and current measurement at RF and microwave frequency. Okay, so that's why we do not go for this Z, Y and ABCD parameters measurement at a low frequency, high frequency RF and microwave. So what is the next option? That's why what they have done. See, during 1948 they introduced a practical approach to solve microwave design problems using scattering parameters. Okay, so it is at 1948 radiation laboratory introduced a practical approach to solve microwave design problems using a scattering parameter. Okay, instead of ABCD parameters, see like this, ABCD, Z or Y parameters, we go for S parameters like this. They are called as scattering parameters, similar to this, but called as scattering parameters. Okay, at RF and microwave frequency. Okay. Hello. 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 Am I audible? Audible?
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am.
Okay. So there is another parameter called as S parameters. They are also called as S parameter or scattering parameters, like Z parameter and Y parameter. But these scattering parameters are used at RF and microwave frequency. Okay. Here in this scattering parameters, they are called as scattering parameters. Why they are called as scattering parameters? See, because here waves are considered instead of voltage and current measurements are not considered here. Wave traveling, waves are considered like this. You see here, wave is, we are sending a wave to the network, and a part of the wave may be reflected from the one, as we know, you already studied that. Okay, wave will be incident wave will be traveling like this towards the network. This is a network here, we are sending the wave, this is a microwave, signal is traveling, and in the incident over the two-port network, it is an input wave. Okay, and once it incident here, this incident wave may fully deliver to this, or it may part of the one may get reflect here based on the impedance condition here. This is a transmission line. Wave is incidenting, going like this, incident wave, and it whenever it comes here, if there is a match, impedance match is there, then what happens? No wave will be reflected like this. But if there is a mismatch, what happens? There is a reflected wave. See like this. This is a reflected wave. That is scatters. Is incident wave. There is a part of the wave scattered back like this. Okay. So we will in our RF scattering parameter, we consider these two waves separately. Incident wave, represented by V1 plus like this. plus sign indicates the wave incidenting to the port. This is called as a port 1. This is port 2. Okay, this is a network. This is called as incident wave and represented by like this. Plus sign indicates the wave incidenting and 1 represent port number. Wave is incidenting to the port 1. Wave is incident to the port 1. Okay, and minus sign represents outgoing wave. Minus represents outgoing. What is this? What is this wave? This is the outgoing wave at port 1. Here subscript 1. Outgoing wave at port 1. Negative sign indicates outgoing. Plus sign indicates incoming wave. And the subscript represents the port number. So this is a plus sign or incoming wave. At what port? Port 1. Similarly, negative sign indicate outgoing wave. This is outgoing wave. At what port? At port 1. It's like that. We can come to know that from this one. So we are treating the waves separately, incoming wave and outgoing wave, or incident wave and a reflected wave, outgoing wave. Okay. Similarly, okay. So this wave incident here, a part of the one reflect back because of a mismatch here. A part of the wave reflect back like this. But the remaining may go through this port. Remaining wave may go through this network and reach us the output here. Remaining of this incident wave goes through this network and reaches the output. This is the one you see here, output wave. This is the outgoing wave. Negative sign indicates the outgoing wave. But at which port? Port 2. Port 2 here. 2 is there. Okay, like that. It is the outgoing wave. But at what port? At port 2. Okay. Similarly, that's why it is called as a scattering. A part will be like this, a part will be like this, a part may enter. So like a wave is scattering here. That's why it is called as scattering parameters. That's why the name is there, scattering. Okay, parameters. Okay, here in the scattering parameters, we are considering the waves independently. Incident waves, outgoing waves, reflected waves, like that. Okay. And here you see this is the wave here. What is this wave? It is denoted by V2 plus. V2 plus means plus sign indicates incident wave. At which port? At port 2. A wave is incidenting to the port 2 like this. Okay. So V2 plus is the incident wave at port 2. V1 plus is the incident wave at port 1. Okay. And this is the outgoing wave at port 2. This is the incoming wave, outgoing wave at port 1. Like here 4 waves we have here. Okay. There may be a dissipation of power also. You see, the wave enters like this. Because of mismatch, a part of the wave will reflect back like this. It's going out. Remaining enters here, network. Out of that, a part may go out like this. But a part of the wave may dissipate here also in the network itself as a heat. Or some radiation may take place. That is also there. Okay, that is a power loss in the network. Okay, so like waves we consider like this. Okay, instead of total voltage and total current measurement, what we do, independent waves we are considering, incoming waves, outgoing waves, and maybe represented like this. Okay, and S parameters are like this, similar to this definition. V1 divided by I1, I2 equal to 0. Okay. Similarly, the definition of this S parameters. Okay. There are, for a 2-port network, there are 2 S parameters. Hello. Okay. See, like based on number of ports, there may be any number of ports. See, like this. What you can see here. Hello, audible? The port, the network may consist any number of ports like this. See here, actually this is a 2-port network. Okay, here this is 3 ports are there. See, port 1, port 2 and port 3. That network may have any number of ports. port 1, port 2 and port 3. Similarly, this is one more network. It consists uh, 4 ports, port 1, port 2, port 3 and port 4. So like a mixer, you studied a mixer circuit. Mixer is a 3-port network, local oscillator, RF circuit, RF input and output. Mixer circuit, I don't know whether you studied or not. Mixer circuit is a 3-port network, 2 inputs, 1 output. And this is some other device. It has a 4 ports, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So that network may have any number of ports, not only 2, any number of ports. Based on the number of ports, there are S parameters. See like this, S parameter. For a 2-port network, 4 S parameters. For a 3-port network, 9 S parameters. 2-port network, 4 S parameters. And for a 4-port network, there are 16 parameters like this. Okay. Okay, we will see it in the next class. We will continue in the next class. Okay. Okay, I took attendance. Okay, we can leave. We will end a meeting.